Welcome to this build video for Enshrouded. In this video I will talk about how you can make a really beautiful wooden bridge using some of the items from the Hollow Halls update. I will also talk about how you can create extra detailing for your stone structures by mixing stone materials, in particular for making better looking pillars. And finally I will show an alternative way of making wooden shutters for your window. Let's start with a wooden bridge leading up to the very much not finished tower over here. And I think we'll start with the railings because that's the easiest part. For that I will use the plant fiber roof block. I use roof blocks for a lot of things that they are not intended to be used for, but I think they look a lot like wooden pillars, which makes them really nice for railings. Another thing that is really nice for railings are these new wooden frames for windows. I think these looks really great. And some more pillars over here. I also think I want some wooden railings in here if I can fit them. Over there. And also over there. And the final pillar over here, I think we need some extra elevation on that one though, because I want to put some torches on it. So let's add something to stand on, just like this maybe would work, just to get some extra elevation. Grab this one, something like this maybe, is that alright? One more, like this, and over here as well. I think that will be nice. Remove this one and then grab some torches. One up like this. Like this. And we got the first part of the bridge done. Like, I think this railing is really nice. And for the lower side of the bridge we will actually have to start by doing some digging. So the aim when we dig is to be able to place these ones. They're called actually wooden window frames. I think, like round wooden window frame. I'm pretty sure they are door frames and not window frames. Anyway, to be able to place them below the bridge itself. So let's start by doing that. You just have to experiment until you reach the correct elevation, and if you dig too much like I accidentally did here, you just have to fill up with some ground again. Like this maybe. This looks like the elevation I want, just below the bridge itself, and I will position it right below the railing here. And the idea is to fill up with more plant fiber roof here. Oops, it should be more inwards, like this. So we get like a beam going all the way up here. Same here, beam going all the way up. Now we have these beautiful wooden arcs supporting the bridge, and all we really got to do is hiding the lower part of them so they look like wooden arcs supporting the bridge and not doorways. So let's just grab some dirt and, well, hide our tracks, I guess. This is the finished wooden bridge, and next up we will be taking a look at how you can mix materials, or different types of stone materials, to get more interesting looking pillars. This tower is mainly made out of roughly cut stone block, but there's a mix of different materials. Just for the stone there's actually 4 different ones. For example, the stairs here are city wall blocks, and the pillars are a mix, and the top part is weathered stone block. And I will show what I'm doing over here, and why this can actually make the pillars look a lot better. Here is a pillar using only the roughly cut stone block. It looks alright, but nothing special. If we instead make a pillar using the weathered stone block, see if I can fit that one in between. You get this really nice detail on top, but I don't think kind of these large parts fit very well with the roughly cut stone in the background. But what we can do is just replace like this. Remove a little bit more. And use a mix instead. So we have the top part from the weathered stone block, and the lower part is roughly cut stone. And we now have this pillar that looks really nice below and fit with the rest of the wall, and we also get this really nice little detail up here. The weathered stone block, and this is actually true for a lot of cubes in Enshrouded, get different looks or different texture depending on how the blocks are surrounding it. So here you get a lot larger. This is also the weathered stone block. You get a lot larger detail up here just because we have an overhang on the roof. So if we place it up here, you get this detail on all the sides, and we can, for example, grab this pillar here, some roughly cut stone block. You can see now we got like a pillar that looks a lot larger when it comes to detailing up here in the top. Of course, like this means if we would place, for example, some more blocks up there, this would change to have the same texture as this one does. So this is something you can experiment with to get a lot more interesting looking pillars than if you just kind of use the same texture and material everywhere. Another example of this is the Desert Temple block. Like the Desert Temple block in itself got some really nice pillars like this. We can also use it in a material mix like this. You get quite large square foundation, or foundation if we put it down here, but like top of a pillar here. And you can mix it with, for example, the refined sandstone block that I think works well in this mix, like this, to have a bit of different looking pillar. Mixing materials, not only to get different types of textures, but also to get different shapes, is a technique I used quite heavily when making this stone tower. But now it's time to make some wooden shutters. But before we do that, I want to talk about something else. If you have followed my channel for a while, you might notice I'm sitting in a new room. This is our guest room. I usually record in our living room, but I had to temporarily move stuff over here. So everything is a bit provisorical. But then again, most stuff on my channel is provisorical, so no big change there. What you might not have noticed, however, is keyboard sounds. I got a few complaints about my keyboard being really noisy. I had a Corsair K70, and it indeed was. So I got a new keyboard, and I made a video about this keyboard that I put on a separate channel. So now I have two provisorical channels instead of just one, but it gave me a reason to paint a new self-portrait, and I haven't painted one of those in a while, so that was kind of fun. The reason to put it on a separate channel is that I feel the content there will be very different from the content I have on the gaming-related channel. It will be mostly vlog style about me trying to improve my gaming-related channel. Meaning, for example, in this case, about getting a new keyboard to change sound profile. It can be about me getting a new camera to, well, do something about this. Or something I'm doing right now, reading up on color theory to improve my thumbnails and the click-through rate on my thumbnails. So imagine like if you're sitting in the same boat as me, if you're also a small content creator trying to grow your channel, then that channel might be interesting to you. I will put a link to that channel and that video in a pinned comment below this video. Anyway, another YouTuber who does a lot of content for Enshrouded, Delindsey Gaming, I will put a link to his channel down below. He got a lot of great content with a lot of great building tips. Well, anyway, he made a video about how to make window wooden shutters out of toilets, and I thought that was really neat. I wanted to use them. But the thing is, like window wooden shutters look really nice on a lighter background like the sandstone I'm using for this wall. But on a darker surface like a wooden wall, they will be very similar in color and texture, so it will be hard to see them when you're a bit further away. It's up there at the unfinished wooden part where I want the shutters, and for that reason I had to come up with something else. And Delindsey Gaming actually had another video a while ago where he showcased how you can make a room divider out of paintings. Really neat, actually. Check that out. And I thought, what about using those paintings as shutters instead? So that is what I have been doing here at this unfinished part of this tower. And I will make a second window at the second floor up here above the first one. And for that we need 2 bookshelves, just temporarily. Those will be removed later. A bunch of paintings and of course like the window frames you want in the window. So the idea is to show the back of the painting as the outside of the window wooden shutter. And the bookshelves are simply just to be able to kind of place them in place, I guess. And we will use the short side of the bookshelf because the broad back of the bookshelf kind of got really funky attachment points. But this one is really nice. So we will place the bookshelves with the short side kind of angled towards the window over here. Getting them in correct place might take some trial and error, but I think they're quite good position now. After that we place the window wooden shutters, or well, the painting like this. Let's get the last one in here as well. And the same on the other side. Put the windows in. Should be here, and then we have to make the walls. The reason I do roof tiles here as walls and not just walls is that if we would use, for example, let's say the refined wood here, right? You get like this really rough edge. So I don't think that looks nice, so that's the reason. After we have done the walls, we can move out and remove the bookshelves over here. Remove the temporary cubes I put here to be able to put the bookshelves on. And now we got the window with some really nice wooden shutters that are also contrasting a lot more towards the background than if I had been using, well, toilets in this case. That was it for this video. If you thought it was useful, give it a thumbs up. Write something in the comment section below if you got suggestions on how I can improve the channel, if you got suggestions for maybe future content. Any comment is really kind of welcome. You can also subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and hit the notification bell. Personally, I hate notifications. I always switch them off, but it's there if you like it. And then that keyboard video on my new other channel for those interested, of course, in that pinned comment below this video. Well, that was really it for now, I guess. Cheers!